know it's all about DTFC. You know it's all about DTFC.
Welcome to the first episode of the official Dallas Trinity FC podcast, Up the River. I am your host, Savannah Huemoeller, and I am here with Trip Neal, the founder and COO of Dallas Trinity FC, and alongside him, Charlie Neal, founder and president of Dallas Trinity FC. How are we doing, you guys?
Great. Excited. Season's about to kick off. It's a good time of year.
I wish you could have played the theme song, the DTFC.
Yeah, we can maybe throw that in there at some point. We can do that. I love it. You guys, we're doing the podcast. We've been talking about this for a little while. Trip, take me in. Why are we here? What are we doing in the podcast?
Yes, we need to get more connected to the fan base because they're awesome. They're great. They come out. They come strong. This season, it's been fun to see what's going on between the end of the year and the start of the new one. Like, we have 2 new partners that are on the front of the kit. That stuff got announced, I think, earlier today. We've got new fan rules going on. We're going to bring more fans out. We've got
Our fans, I hope they break every new rule.
Yes. Like, we started to hit our stride towards the end of the season last year where it was like 5,000 fans plus were coming to the game. So the fan zone is super lively. My kids love that just as much as they do the game. So we're super pumped.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing are the players, right? Like, the fans getting to get introduced. I mean, we turned over almost half our roster. New coach on the sidelines, although it's a name everyone's going to recognize because it was the same coach for the first few games last year as the whole league was navigating what it means to get a foreign coach over here in the States and dealing with all of that. So, yeah, I'm really excited. We have some great players not only on the field but some personalities off of it and some names hopefully locally they'll recognize. A couple former Ponies coming in and, adding to the mix of just the locker room rivalries of a TCU and SMU,
and
Texas.
Yep.
I know. So it's, I'm excited for our fans to get to know our players even better this year.
Well, you just mentioned the new head coach who is obviously kind of returning from last year. He's now in this newer role, as well as GM Chris Petrucelli. He will be our guest later on in the show. We're super excited to talk to him. But we need to go back to the beginning. When this all started, when you guys came in is as part of the ownership group to really build the first ever women's professional soccer team in Dallas. I mean, has this been just truly incredible for you guys?
Yeah, it has been incredible. It's been eye-opening. We kind of pinch ourselves from time to time. Like, I can't believe we are here in the position we are watching Dallas soccer and women's athletes just dominate. It's a lot of fun. And it's been a long time coming too. I think we always shook our heads kind of in the past, like, why has there not been a pro women's soccer team? But some of those questions were answered along the way because it's hard. It is hard to get this launched, and it's taken a village. Like, you need buy-in from the city. You need buy-in from community partners. You need fans. You need players who want to play here, coaches who want to coach here. And we're continuing to build off of that. So I think, it's probably a dream a couple of years ago that seemed realistic. And then, launching live to the public on May 9th last year was a surreal moment for us all.
Yeah, I think it's, can I stand here and say when we were 2 young kiddos playing soccer in the backyard, we're like, we're going to start a women's professional soccer team here in Dallas. Like, no, but we were born and raised on going to a Reunion Arena and popping a balloon with the Psychics game, I think in between the 3rd and 4th quarter and like just being so awestruck if we were allowed onto the indoor field there at Reunion, and then going to Burn games at the Cotton Bowl and getting your eardrums blasted out by the vuvuzelas,
banging
and just
seats.
like banging seats at the Cotton Bowl, and
visions of our mom
I
screaming at other fans for being too loud.
Sweating through 2-3 different jerseys, playing, the Sidekicks 4v4 tournaments every summer, and then growing up in the Classic League and playing at Richland College, and like I feel like we had a soccer story that resonates with so many. And so, like so many, to Tripp's point, you start to see the growth of the women's game professionally, and you start thinking like, how does Dallas not have a team? I mean, there's been so many young girls and young women that have grown and developed here and never had the pro team to look up to. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I think about one, you know, even as, because we're 2 of 4, right? We have 2 sisters, and they're both great players in their own right. And
a big part of starting this thing up.
And I was thinking this the other day.
Yeah.
I was like, when we grew up and our dad was our coach, you know, family affair, if you haven't picked up on it already. Our youth soccer team name was the Sidekicks. I mean, but it's crazy. So was my sister's team, the Sidekicks, which was the men's indoor professional soccer team. So I just have these visions now of like the next generation of girls. Take the Trinity name. I hope that there's 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds running around the fields of Dallas with Trinity on the front of their shirt, and not the Sidekicks. I love the Sidekicks, but that there was no representation on the women's side. So as we kind of take a step back and like, how did you get here? It's one of those things where you look back and all roads lead through here, right? All roads always led to this, and so we're really proud to bring this to the city.
And we'll come back full circle to how this has all been built up in the last year and going into this next season. But we need to go back to the full family of this, because you all work together in the office. What is it like working together as a family and building up this team? I mean, you guys have got to butt heads from time to time. Come on.
No, never, right?
We treat each other kindly and respectfully as we were raised.
There we go.
My mom used to say, if you can't say something nice, don't say something at all. But
there's a lot of talking stuff. I've worked with my father now since 2012. So I'm used to working with, you know, someone who's type A, wants to do it his way, has a strong vision, is very intelligent, difficult to argue with, that kind of stuff. And then we started to mix in the rest of the family, and you know, Charlie, Dory, Jenny, Jean, everyone plays a hugely important role. And yeah, no day doesn't have a moment or two where, you know, hey, Charlie, can you help me out on this one? I'm a little stuck here. Or, hey, Dory, you know, can you help me out on this one? But it's awesome to see each other every day. I mean, we all actually live inside Dallas, so we're not commuting too far away. We've got kids. Charlie's got a kid now. Welcome to the dad life. Girl dad.
Still catching up on
exactly.
sleep.
So it's just fun to kind of, you know, stay plugged in together and build something together as a family.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where, again, long-term vision finally coming to life, but then also, was it the ultimate goal? Who knows? But you think about the 4 of us and how well we complement each other. I'm not saying we give each other compliments. We should probably do that more often. I'm saying just as professionally, you know, my sister Dory was in the advertising world for over a decade, and when she was in the thick of it, like, the thought of how would she market or advertise or brand out a women's professional soccer team, like, wasn't there. But that experience and having been living in marketing in New York, in markets like New York and others, and then moving here back to Dallas and doing that in the Southwest, like, what a great asset to have her. And then Trip.
She just crushed media day for the players right upstairs here in this building.
Oh, yeah.
Like, every player had a good time, and they were walking out of the office. They're like, that was so much fun. So.
And then Trip's story, which could be a whole episode in itself, right? And playing for the deaf men's national team and leading that association, and getting both the women's and men's team extended national team affiliation with U.S. Soccer, and having traveled the world, there's nobody more plugged into how the federation works, which then ties into how the leagues interact, which then ties into agents and coaches and managers and all of that. So you've got that side of the business, and then
I had a really strong one-on-one record growing up as a kid at home. That's where I built up all my confidence.
I have a lot of residual trauma of being 5.5 years younger than somebody, and a 10-year-old taking on a 5-year-old. The deck was a little stacked.
We took it seriously. I mean, we would literally put on, I don't know if you remember Jock Jams back in the day, the different tracks. Sure. There's different volumes, right? You know, the cassette tapes that, you know, nowadays they don't even know what those are. But we would put on like the national anthem before we played one-on-one in the living room.
Yeah.
Stand there, and it's a Jock Jams national anthem. Yeah. And then it was like the "Let's get ready to rumble," and then boom, we were playing soccer, and then probably fighting at some point in the second half.
Breaking something to the dismay of my mother.
Double red cards.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, you know, my little sister Jenny, she brings like such great energy and strategic partnerships, and her friends are, if not the loudest, behind our unstable supporters group, you know, the second loudest out there in the Cotton Bowl. And so you need all that. And I was fortunate enough to be a pro athlete at one point and be along that journey and kind of know the trials and tribulations and highs and lows of that as from the athlete's perspective. So bringing that into the mold, and then having lived a business world in sports with a fan-focused, fan-first mindset, and working in data and marketing from that perspective. So the four of us, it's a dream team. I mean, I say that so biasly, right? But to our dad's credit, he believed in our vision, and here we are today.
You know, I think it's so unique that you guys all have different perspectives. You have different athletic backgrounds and so many different pieces to really plug into this puzzle. And especially in its first year, I mean, there must have been a lot of learning curves when it came to building up this team. You know, what were some of those trials and tribulations that you can really think back on in this last year that has now gotten you to this point where you're in your second year and you have a really insane team that's about to hit the ground running?
I can take that one. I mean, there's so many different ways I could start on that. I mean, just even thinking about building a business, because at the end of the day, we're an early stage company, and I'm sure that there's other entrepreneurs and founders out there that resonates with when you talk about what is even the org structure, you know, what's the employee handbook look like? What are the expectations for what time everyone just gets to the office and when they leave, and you know, let alone what are you compensating people and things like that. And so we've had to figure that out, because then you've got, you know, 4 siblings and a father CEO, and so you've got a lot of decision makers. So we're still navigating that. I think that you know, the employees that came on early on are so bought in and so driven by the mission that we represent. So that was a win, but just the amount of work was something you could not anticipate. And then you throw sort of the externally facing and thinking about how do you market this team. It is such a blessing and a curse to be in Dallas, right? Like, there's no better sports city. Trip and I would tell you, like, we're diehard Cowboys fans. We're diehard Rangers and Stars and Mavs and now the Wings and all the teams. But like, at the same time, when you're marketing against them, you're like, okay, guys, can we let up on the marketing spend so that like we can talk about DTFC's next match? But it's the celebrity in Dallas is the sports athlete. Like, it's not like LA or New York. It's so we have I see it as such an opportunity to where, like, if we do our job right and our player stories get out, these women are so deserving of being shoulder to shoulder with a now Cooper Flag instead of a Luka, right? Or a Dak, or you know, a Paige Beckers or someone like that. Like, our players they're just as talented, and it's our job to make sure that it breaks through.
And I think looking back to some of the early decisions that we made, I think, you know, when we decided to go for it, you know, there's hesitancy. It's a huge, you know, investment that we're making, a huge bet that this is going to work. We're getting into a new league that has never been around before, right? So are we going to be able to pull this off? And I think early on, some of those decisions, you know, there were definitely some hesitant moments. One that I can think about is, you know, picking our brand agency. You know, we had an agency that was very heavy in the sports world, that had done some work with Formula One, San Diego FC, based in Dallas and San Diego, and you know, MLS and Olympics, and so that was very attractive and appealing. And then we had another agency opportunity that had more of the art and cultural appeal to it, that had worked on some businesses within Dallas. And you know, we said, look, like, we think we've got this soccer thing down, this sports thing. We bring that to the table. Not that we've perfected it or anything, but that's where our passion exerts itself. And so bringing in you know, some other voices that speak strongly and passionately about areas that we're going to need to throw into the mix. And and finally getting Jim, our CEO, to say, all right, yes, we can go forward with the agency. Let's start picking a team name and branding and colors and all of that. And that's led to some other ambitious decisions too. Like Charlie brought in FC Barcelona for our first ever match last year. Like, you will not find another club in the world that launches and says, oh, let's go play the UEFA European Champions League winners to start our career. And so what a cool opportunity. And now we've got Club America coming up for the State Fair Classico later in October. So we definitely had some hesitant approaches early on, but now we continuing forward with some big, ambitious and bold moves, and it's been fun to be on the ride.
Back to last season and you bringing in Barcelona, how did that happen?
Sí, hablando más. Yeah, that was, one of those things where the sports world can get so small at times, and relationships matter. If any young listeners are out there, like, invest in your relationships, they'll come back and pay you dividends later on, and that's what it was. It was, we knew the right people, and Barcelona was looking at the time to come over and do a U.S. tour, and they were going to play San Francisco and play against Bay FC in the NWSL, and we just put the right deal in front of them. And to their credit, they brought a lot of their ownership group over, and they had some comfort with the Cotton Bowl. The men's team has had success coming and playing some friendly matches, but this was the first time the women's team had ever been in Dallas. And so, yeah, I still look back on it. I don't know how we were actually able to pull it off, because to Trip's point, even just from an operations standpoint, this is the first time we've run a show, right? Like, I think
we were ready to just watch and get entertained.
Like, I think, like, the anthem mic was messed up a little bit, and little things that, like, when you're living it are so large, but the fan probably didn't even notice. But just, like, I still have nightmares about. But nothing can replicate. Like, we did an open training the night before, and their players were awesome. I mean, they have 2 former FIFA Player of the Year with
9 World Cup winners.
Yeah,
wow.
And they were just coming off of an Olympic gold medal and all these things, and so. Yeah, just the way that they get back to our fans and leaned into even our players. It's like they even our local market at the time really didn't know us. I mean, our passionate, hardcore fans were starting this crazy train that's DTFC, right? But for them to come in for a club they'd probably even never heard of yet was a leap of faith, and I hope that embodies kind of what this club represents for so many.
We took a 6-0 beating that game, but it's been up
Two-
the river
2-0
from
in the
there.
second half, 2-0 in the second half.
6-0 or, whatever it might be, I gotta say, this fan base shows up, and it's only been 1 year through this. I mean, what have you guys seen out of the fan base? I've gotten to know some of the fans. I've gone out to the fan zone, done some interviews. These fans are really passionate about being at these games, and you even hear it in the stands. I mean, they get after it.
Yeah, I can't compliment them enough. And some of the themes you'll as listeners will start to get more and more or start recognizing more and more, right? Which is soccer family. We've lived the life of the fan, and I hope our supporters group can appreciate how sort of open and transparent and giving of our time that the ownership group is, and what our staff is, just even in the front office. And I give Travis and David and Jack and some others on our team a lot of credit, because they've invested in our supporters group and the watch parties and the little things and gifts and just how we communicate with them and little experiences that we can put together to show our appreciation for them. And we're as, I think, eager as they are to, like, see it grow. And it's soccer's such a different sport to come watch live. Like, I can't recommend it more. It's not like going to a Ranger game. It's not like going to a Wings game or a Mavs game. It's part of the fan experience is looking to your left or right and seeing the supporters just yell their heads off and bang on the drums, and, like, just to see that amount of fervor is contagious.
And they've got their own chants too now. It's awesome from early on, where it's kind of everyone's getting a feel for what is this? This is fun. This is pro women's soccer. We're winning some games. We defended our home turf in the fall last year. I think we lost only our last game of the fall. So no losses to start out, which was just a huge welcoming to the community. And now, like, my son, he's 4 years old. He prefers to go stand in the stands with his shirt off, with his classmates, just like banging their chests, screaming their head off. He's probably not even watching the game, but he's just having fun out there because he sees, fans are cheering, music's playing, kids have their face painted, boots. I mean, Dory brought boots to life. That was her vision right out the gate. She was like, no, we need a mascot. This has to happen. And she brought boots to life. I think it was like third game or something like that. The Boots was out there, fan favorite. Everybody loves Boots.
Oh yeah.
Who doesn't? So,
yeah. But I've got to give a shout out to the Unstabled and the Dallas Beer Guardians.
Yes.
Like, they've stepped up early on, like I said, from the get-go, and we're gonna keep trying to do more and more things. I mean, we had Shake Shack step up, and we're feeding these men and women hamburgers before. I don't know if that's the best idea to feed the supporters group hamburgers before a game, but then Community Beer Company stepped up, and they've been supplying beer.
Got a samba group now that comes out and
Right.
performs at the matches in the stands.
Yeah. So if there's any pitch to become a DTFC supporter, you'll be well fed and well what's the word for it? I guess just like well drunk. Well, I don't know. Don't get drunk. Or if you do, at least do it.
21 and up, folks.
Yeah, 21 and up.
Is it that Merit coffee? Is that what's in your
exactly.
system right now?
What are you guys most looking forward to this fall?
Oh man.
Any games? Any events?
How could you ignore the State Fair game, right? Like
So
the
cool.
Classico. So cool. I mean, I'll let Tripp do that because he's really the one that has the relationships brought Club America in and really the brainchild behind it all.
Yeah, we wanted to do it last year, and it was just too much to take on too last minute. And Club America has been an awesome partner to work with. They're excited about doing it because they brought their men's team up to Texas many, many times. They have a huge fan base out here. We've actually had some behind-the-scenes operations meetings, and the security teams, like, just so you know, like, Club America fans can be we may need to double up on security. We're like, this is going to be a family environment. We'll be all right. It's going to be fun. Meanwhile, on the side, I'm like to the supporters at Club America, hey, bring your rowdy fans. Let's go. Let's have some fun. So, yeah, it's during the fair, so it's an opportunity to soak up the whole day, the best of what Dallas has to offer, what Texas has to offer, eat some corn dogs, some fried Oreos, take a ride on the Ferris wheel, the Texas Star. Our partners at the State Fair of Texas have been awesome to work with as well. I mean, for many, many years, they've had 2 football games, right? The Grambling and Prairie View game and the Texas OU game. Now we're adding a different football game, right? The last Saturday of the fair, 4 o'clock. I mean, it's happy hour for people who want to drink. And, I think that the kids will have a lot of fun out there for that one as well.
Now, you guys, I spent a good amount of the day with some of the players, and we actually did get to talking about the Texas State Fair. And obviously, you have some new players on the team. They've never played really in the Cotton Bowl, in that environment when you have the State Fair going on, and it's insane. But you know what? I'm going to actually ask you guys some of the questions that I asked some of the ladies today. Let me get down to the State Fair here. Okay, Charlie, what is your go-to fair food?
Oh, Fletcher's corn dog. Yeah. I mean, I love Fletcher's. We've gotten to know the Fletcher's family, so I hope they don't take this the wrong way, but it's about the one time a year I have a Fletcher's corn dog.
Will you have one too?
I do that and wash it down with a funnel
yeah,
cake. I mean,
yeah.
getting my hands all sticky with the kids is fun, so, yeah.
And they're awesome. The Fletchers, if you like Fletchers, come to a DTFC match because they activate in our fan zone almost every match, so we love having them out.
Oh, yeah. The fair food you can't go wrong with, but the corn dogs are a must for sure. Okay, rides, midway games, or the food overall?
That's a good question.
Midway games.
Yeah, we grew up game junkies. We're so competitive. We want to make the basketball shot even though the rim is, what it is.
I've gone now couple years in a row with my wife, and like she challenges me every time. There's that stupid
The
game where
ladder?
you have to get on the ladder.
The Jacob's
and,
ladder. I
yeah.
can't. It drives me nuts. I've never been able to do it.
Yeah, and she just gets her annual video of me face planting off of that thing, but
Just take my money.
yeah, literally take my money.
Well, we can get more into some of these state fair questions on our next episode to kind of preview up that match. But we are so close to this home opener here. So much excitement around the home opener. You have a lot of new players and new faces, and you have a lot of really great returners. I'm going to ask you some of the nitty gritty on the team here going into this first home opener. Charlie, who is scoring the first goal this season?
Deb. Yeah, I'm going with
Deb.
Deb. I mean, she just had an amazing summer, winning the African Championship, and just I haven't gotten a chance to really catch up with her yet because she's been traveling back, and I can only imagine what an experience to represent your country in a major tournament like that and play all 90 in the final and win. I mean, come on, the Gainbridge Super League is going to be, she's going to be able to rise above everything, I think, and handle it super well.
I can't go against the Golden Boot winner, Allie. I mean, you're gonna get a dime from Chi and slot it home. That's gonna be the first goal. Yeah.
Okay. Who's getting the first yellow card, Trip?
I can give you the first red card.
Yeah, yellow. I don't know how you say anybody but Amber. Amber. You know, but
Hands
it's
down.
And then I'll give
you know
her
what it
the
is.
second yellow,
The
which is
refs
then-
have a target on her back. They really do.
She's
that's
changed her name now. So
it's
they won't
ooh.
notice it.
That's a
Yeah.
good point. Yeah, she may skirt that.
Yeah.
She may skirt that.
We'll see if that
So
happens. I
who'd you
like
say?
it.
Who'd you
I
say?
said Amber gets a second yellow, which then turns into a red.
There you go.
Yeah.
Amber was
And-
across
and
the board, yes.
She would appreciate us saying this, I think. So.
She voted herself
Yeah,
when I asked her that today,
yeah,
so yes.
yeah.
Who will lead the team in assists this year?
She did last year, and she looks great in preseason. I think she's going to come out firing again. I also think once we get Lexi back, that she'll be one of the team leaders in assists too. She just makes everybody better around her. I mean, she puts people in position to score, or if they're not scoring, to create the next opportunity to score. It's like a magician. It's like watching Luka, as sad as it is to see he's not in Dallas anymore. Just watching somebody bring a wizardry approach to the center of the field there.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy. Chioma.
Yeah.
Such a silky left foot. I mean, come on. Just to Tripp's point, like, just even seeing her in this preseason, I think she's up for it. She's here for it. She's in great form, and another year of that connection just continue to mature with her and Allie and some of the others. So.
I think Riley will get an assist this year too. She's got some great ball distribution as well. A goalkeeper.
Plugging one for the goalkeeper.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right, hot
No,
take. I like it.
Probably not the
When
first
did we-
one, but
that's
I
the
think
first time I think I've ever heard you compliment a goalkeeper.
yeah.
Riley's cool. She's awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, who's pulling out the best goal celebration?
Oh.
I will say I had to have some one-on-ones with some of the players last year because I was like, I'm getting tired of the group hug celebration after a goal. I love that we score. That's awesome. More of that, of course. But the air chi moments, you want the even the Amber dog ears. That's cute. You know, the Henley shout out. But I'm like, I want to see someone do the aura farming celebration or just fly around like a Pegasus or do something. That's definitely more Sports Center worthy, but I can't make it happen, unfortunately. I'm not a player.
Yeah, I mean, when Yenny Danielson comes back, she's got such personality. I would imagine she's gonna pull something out that we'd all love. So yeah,
You've been talking to her about something?
No, I just she's got such a creative mind as a player. I think that translates. I think there should be correlation there, right? Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to
creativity on the
Chris.
ball,
When we're scouting players, we also need to start scouting their celebrations. I think that's an important piece of.
Well, if it means they're scoring more, it's good.
You just
More-
need
more
highlight
content to work
videos
through,
of
yeah.
just all goal
Yes.
celebrations.
Yes.
There we go. All right, you guys. Well, when we come back from break, we will have GM and head coach Chris Petrucelli in the studio with us. We're super excited to talk to him. welcome back to the first ever Dallas Trinity FC podcast, Up the River. I'm Savannah Huemoeller, your host. I'm here with Trip and Charlie Neal, and of course, the head coach and GM, Chris Petrucelli. How are you, Chris?
I'm great. Happy to be here.
Great. Super fun news. I heard that you just had a new grandbaby in the family.
Yeah, we had our first grandson. He's 7 months old, and I was born Christmas Day, which was kind of neat. And
Is that what you asked for Christmas?
he actually was about a month early, so we weren't quite expecting him. But they live in New Orleans, and I haven't seen my wife very much since he's been born. She's been in New Orleans most of the time, so he's the most popular one in the family now. I've been pushed out the door a little bit.
Did they get to come out to Dallas at all at any point so
They're
far?
here a lot. Yeah, they've been here a lot. They were just here this past weekend, and they were here for about 3 weeks earlier on. So they've spent some time here.
Did they get to come out to the games?
They
this
were at the
upcoming
game.
fall?
Yeah, they were at the game the other night, and they'll be at a number of games. And I had my first experience as the sole caretaker. It's not babysitting when it's your own, right? Don't call it babysitting, okay? So I had him for about 3 hours on Saturday afternoon, and he slept for 2.5, so it was fantastic.
Do you think he's going to be a future soccer star?
You know, his dad's an NFL player, and he's huge. So if he's like his dad, he's probably going to be a lineman or, something like that.
Or a bruising center back.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, we have to get into a little bit of your background, Chris, but let's first connect all the dots here. Charlie, Tripp, you got to talk about Chris and you bringing him into the Dallas Trinity FC family, and last year his position on this team and what he has done here. Just, you got to paint the picture for the audience here.
So, sounds good. Thanks for being here, Chris. Chris was our first hire as a club. It was pretty much a family-run idea that became a family-run club, and we obviously needed a lot of help. So Chris was our first hire. He had all the expertise, checked all the boxes. He had obviously experience coaching at very high levels, NWSL, U.S. soccer, collegiate, Division I championship pedigree, as well as some local levels too, having experience here at SMU and for quite some time. And so he checked more boxes than we can imagine. And, we're very, very blessed that he's a part of the program and helped build us to what we are today.
Charlie?
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. I think when you think about starting a club, first ever women's team here in Dallas, what better opportunity than just to look in your backyard for the talent that's come up here and has deserved to have a women's pro team here for a long time, and nobody knows that market better than Chris. So I think the performance on the pitch last year speaks volumes to his ability. We didn't give him much runway, right? Like, we gave him, I think, 2-3 months to put a roster together, and a third place finish, almost winning that semifinal match. It's a testament to the work that he's put in.
And Chris, last year in the first year of the USL and Dallas Trinity FC as a whole, what was it like building the team and initially getting things off the ground and running?
Yeah, it was interesting. Every day was a new day, and we were running into all kinds of different things that I think many of us have never experienced before. So we learned a lot. We learned a lot about things that we knew nothing about. I never thought I'd become an expert on workers' comp insurance and things like that. But those were the kind of things we were running into, and we had to learn fast. And these guys were, the work ethic that the family has is it's outstanding. And and it starts with Jim and how he attacks everything. And it runs through, obviously, through his kids, and I think it's something that now runs through the club. We from day one we said, okay, we want to be the hardest working team out there, and we want to represent our owners and our city, and so they've set the example for everybody, and we've been running ever since.
And obviously, you've coached in Dallas. You were with SMU for so long. You know, being here in Dallas and you're building this team up, you already kind of knew what it would take getting the city of Dallas behind this team and getting things off the ground running. I mean, what has the connection been like just still being in this city?
Yeah, I think the great thing for us is there are so many good players that are playing in the area or from the area. And, they all had to go away and play in Europe. And, we had players that were, from Dallas playing in South Korea and things like that. So, to be a place for them to come back home and play, and then their connection into the community, I think really helped us, and we had some players that I think people came out to see, and they were, local players, and, with a short loan stint with Sam Mesa, and Sam, people came to watch Sam, and a lot of it were, it was people who watched her play since she was 6 years old, and, her club teammates and kids that she dealt with, and trained and coached and things like that. They were in the club, and that spread through many of our players who, their former clubs are now coming out to watch them. So the connection was there right from the beginning, and I think the club as a whole has done a really good job of first introducing the team into a market that has never had a team before, and introducing a league that's a brand new league. And I think the market is now knows who we are, and we've made some, I think, pretty deep connections with the different clubs and the different people within the city.
And then for you guys, I mean, building that up within the community on the business side, I mean, everything all ties in together. What's it been like just connecting all the dots?
I mean, Chris said it best, right? It's all been first year leaning into local storylines, and there's no more passionate fan than a mom, a dad, a brother, or sister of a player out on the pitch, right? I think Allie Thornton says it best. You can still hear her mom and sometimes saying, "Go get it, Al," or whatever her phrase is. So I think we've taken that kind of bottom-up approach of get it right here in our backyard, get it right with the players that came up and grew up playing on the fields of MoneyGram and Richland and all the great complexes across the Metroplex here. And that's not to say we haven't leaned into the Amber Brookses, now Wisner, and the others that have come in here that aren't from Dallas, who I think they would tell you even growing up that Dallas had a reputation for developing really, really talented players, and probably had to run into a club or two during regionals and nationals, and always had a little bit of fear in the back of the head. So I think Dallas is a crowded sports market. I think we say it all the time, and so we're constantly searching for ways to differentiate ourselves from our sister and brother pro teams here. And one of the things that I think that many of them can't replicate is our ability to really recruit here locally. Like, even if the Mavs, right, like a player from Duncanville or Garland, they still have to go through the draft. The great thing about the Gainbridge Super League is if Chris likes a player and she's talented, and we can work with their agent and cut a deal that she finds is fair, she can come play here. So.
Now we got to get into the players. You helped build up this team last year, brought it to where it's at this point right now. I mean, let's talk about some of these players here. Who have been some of the standouts from last year that you're bringing into this season, and what are some of their skill sets and attributes that you really like in this team?
Well, it starts with our captain, Amber, who, she's a first-class professional. Like, she does absolutely everything right. She's getting older in her career, and she takes care of her body at a different level. She looks after every piece of it. Her nutrition is right, her fitness is right, her mentality is right. When it's time to rest, she's the best rester out there. And you can't continue to play like she has for many, many years as a professional unless you do all of these things right. So it starts with her. She sets the example, and some of the other ones that have come in. I mean, Allie Thornton had just a fantastic last year and led the league in goals, and was just prolific in front of goal. And again, Allie had to go away to France and Belgium to play for a few years after playing at SMU, and She's come back a much better player and a threat every time she gets the ball in the penalty area. Chioma has been just really dangerous every time she gets the ball, and I'll tell you, she's playing at a really high level right now, and I expect a great year out of her. So, that's sort of the core group that, they're the ones that really sort of performed at a really high level last year, and they're back, and they're mixing with some other returning players and a bunch of new players that we're really excited about.
And you know what? I got to meet a bunch of the new players today. Everyone's been fantastic. I mean, getting this team ready to go for the season, we're a couple weeks away from this. I mean, how are we feeling about this home opener and, all these new players on the team? Have they kind of meshed well with everybody else?
Yeah, no, they've been great, but the coach never thinks you have enough time. So, it's coming fast, and we got a lot to work on, and we got a lot of things to go through. But this new group is interesting. I think it's extremely athletic, and it's raised the athletic level of the team overall. And there are a number of them that play a couple of different positions, so we're still trying to kind of sort them out and figure them out and figure out, what's best for the team. And it's going to take us some time, but we're running out of time, as you say.
Now, one question that I actually asked some of the girls today, I was asking them about you. They said that you have just this ability to just be very direct. You have a dry sense of humor, and you know exactly what needs to go in the right direction. And some of the girls, they just had some of the best things to say about you and your coaching style. Who on this team do you think is such a unique player that might be one of these up and comings and might have a breakthrough season here?
Oh boy, there's so many of them, but I'll tell you, so far, Winnie Bellata has been, she's been impressive. I think we've played some of these friendly matches, and it's hard to say that in a couple of them she hasn't been the best player on the field. And we haven't quite meshed with our whole midfield with Deb, being away and not getting back really till yesterday. So I think she'll get better as time goes on. But Winnie has been, she stood out as somebody that is going to really make a difference. Our new goalkeeper, Riley, is she's as good with her feet as any goalkeeper I've seen. I mean, she can hit a ball right foot, left foot. She can spin it, she can drive it, she can put the ball wherever she wants. And the goalkeeper, while everybody sees the goalkeeper as the player saving the ball, for us the goalkeeper is a big part of our attack. They start our attack. They're many times the first person with the ball. So that ability that she has is unique, and something we're going to use.
Trip, anybody on your mind as far as who you think might have a breakout season this year?
Well, I'm excited to watch some of the young players. I know bringing Ray Moore over from California was a big win for the club. There were quite a few other teams in our league that were interested in signing her. Youth national team experience there. Caroline Swan, another youth national team experience, and getting Sealy to come back again is exciting. I think that's become somewhat of part of our identity. Is North Texas produces so many talented soccer players, and being able to get them ingrained into the professional environment early on is a huge win for all of us.
Charlie, the question's got to go back to you here.
Oh, man. Yeah, I was a natural born attacking player, so that's usually where my eye gravitates, and I'm just interested to see who plays off and with Allie, and I think we're all anxiously awaiting the return of number 10, Lexi Missimo, and getting her back healthy, I think just unlocks so many different things, but her being out also has given opportunities to some others to really grow into their role. I mean, Cam Lancaster's a player that I think about who also has local ties, being a former Horned Frog. But, we have a lot of players that have a lot of creative minds. I mean, Chioma right on the wing, and Allie is perfectly positioned to put some balls in the back of the net. So, yeah, just really, really excited to see how that group in the attacking third molds together.
Now, you guys have all done this for a year now. You know the system. Do you guys have any fun stories about Chris sitting next to me here? There's got to be a couple. On travel games, something.
Yeah, it's been interesting coming from being a player for so many years and now stepping into the business side or the front office side or even the technical side of the club. Something that I've never really experienced, and that is a little bit of a brag, being able to not have to sit on the bench too often. But watching the game with a different mindset, and looking for weaknesses in the opponent or ways that our team might be connecting the ball better. I remember going away to Carolina last season. And it was an opportunity where I didn't have friends and family to entertain or guests that were coming to the game with me, and a chance to just kind of sit with Chris and watch the game. It was actually a very quiet game. It was studying the game, observing where can we pick apart the other team, what changes do we need to make, what tinkers do we need to deal with to kind of get an edge or an advantage. We ended up winning that game, I think 1-0. But I've always thought that was a very impressive, this is business from the sideline. We are looking for anything we can find to help our team win the game.
That wasn't funny. Come on, it was supposed to be something funny.
Come on, we need a good story of Chris, you know?
It's like a roast. Come on.
Yes.
Charlie's got to have one.
Most of the time, it's just looking at his reaction to how our family interacts with each other. I mean,
there you go.
The best thing about it. No, I have some visions of that Barcelona press conference when Spanish was being spoken and Chris having no idea what the opposing manager was saying about our club brings up some good memories. But yeah, to Chirp's point, it's he and I are both former players, but to be able to pick the brain of Chris that's special. I hope at some point everyone who's a fan of the game gets to interact with a coach of his pedigree and just understand the nuances and get a chance. And that's some of the most fun parts of this job, is to be in a room and just talk about how the club's playing, how the team's doing, and how they're molding and what they're seeing, because inevitably he's got some nugget that you just, I haven't been thinking about that, or haven't seen that. It just makes it really fun.
Chris, what was your favorite moment from last season? Anything sticking out?
I think many people would point to the win at the end of the year that got us into the playoffs. But we started the year and we were playing well, but we weren't scoring, and so we tied a couple of games, and I kept saying, I know we can do this, and I know we have players who can score, and I know, it's going to come, and I think some people were maybe even starting to doubt if, is it going to come? And we played Lexington, we scored 6 goals, and for me it was like, I knew it, I knew it, that was the day where I went, okay, I know this team, is capable. I know this team is a team that can go on and do great things. So, that's one that stood out for me, and that was maybe the 3rd or 4th game of the year.
That would have been a good one to go out on.
Yeah,
6-goal win to top off the coaching career. We got to reel them back in to the sideline here.
That would have been pretty unreal. We got to set the tone here. Expectations. The season's right around the corner. What are you guys expecting out of this upcoming season, and with this big home opener and really hitting it home here in Dallas?
What have you told the players, Chris?
Look, we're just going let's get past practice tomorrow, and we really haven't talked about the home opener. We haven't talked about much about the season or anything like that. What do I expect come for the season? First of all, we have a talented team. We will be competitive. We will play hard every game. We will be in the game. Whether we win or lose, I have no idea. Some things we can control. Sometimes the other team just has a blinder and there's not much you can do. But we'll represent the city the way that we should, and we'll be a club that people will, want to come see. I expect a big crowd, and these guys are working hard on that. I know there'll be great fireworks because the fireworks are always good. So the Cotton Bowl will be a fun time for that match.
Honestly, speaking of which, how cool is it to play these games at the Cotton Bowl? It's such a legendary venue, and just the atmosphere there is incredible. What's it like standing on the pitch at these games?
It is. It's a great environment, and it's a proper stadium, and you feel like you're in a professional stadium in a professional environment. Our players absolutely love it, and one of it's a positive for us. Maybe it's a negative for the team. Is all the other teams love playing there. Everybody's excited to come and play in the Cotton Bowl. So we get everybody's best. They bring their best because it's an exciting venue. But the quality of the surface of the field is first class. It's the best in the league, and you just feel like you're in this real professional environment. So the players love it. I think these guys have created an atmosphere around it. The first thought was 90,000 seats. Like, is this? You can hear a pin drop sort of thing, but you can't. It's loud and the crowd's into it and.
We've actually been reprimanded by the league for the noise.
Yeah, for being too loud, which is crazy.
There's a Dallas
right?
Trinity rule now.
Yeah, I hope our fans hear that as encouragement. We want to be reprimanded more often.
No, it's a wonderful place. It's a wonderful place and a great place to watch a game.
Awesome. Well, we are just a few short days away coming up from this home opener. And Chris, thank you so much for joining us on the first ever episode of the Up the River Dallas Trinity FC official podcast. And we will see you on the pitch at the home opener here soon.
See you soon.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Welcome back to the official Dallas Trinity FC podcast, Up the River. Trip, Charlie, we just did a little round table with you guys on ownership and building this team up, and now going into the second year. We got to talk to Chris today. What an awesome first episode. And now we're just a few days away from the home opener on August 23rd at the Cotton Bowl. What's the message to the fans? They got to come out.
Oh, yeah. Fireworks. If you were a fan last year, we're bringing them back. No, you know what my message is there's only 2 games left on the east side. I don't think that's being said enough. The Cotton Bowl just finished a brand new renovation, or is finishing up. By the time our second match is done, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of love and effort and care have gone into the west side of the Cotton Bowl, and we're making a move. And so if you come out to Classico, that'll be your first chance to experience it. All new concourses, all new restrooms, all new concessions, all new.
It's like a new zip code.
That's
things.
massive. Yeah.
So if you loved last season, come out to the first two matches, because you'll get to experience the east side for the final time, and then some upgrades on the west side. So yeah, I think we're getting to play Spokane, and we're getting to play Brooklyn on the 30th. I know everyone has a love-hate relationship with Brooklyn. But yeah, come out on the 23rd. If nothing else, I'm sure Trip will touch on some of the players, but to experience the original DTFC Cotton Bowl experience for a final time.
Yeah. Hey, everybody's in first place and last place to start the season. We got to move up the table, up the river. Here we go. Mm-hmm. It's our first chance to do it, get to the top of the table. I think it's an opportunity also. If you didn't get a chance to come out last year, bring some friends, come on out. We've not met any kids that have come out that didn't have a good time. Our players love interacting with the kids and the fans. They will sign everything. They will stick around. They will high five. They will selfie. They will sign T-shirts, hats, tickets, hot dog wrappers, you name it. It doesn't matter.
And your kids will save all of it.
Yes.
For way too long.
Yes. My
mom still has
boxes. We should have hung that stuff up back here. That would have looked great.
Yeah, bring it in next time.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, no, come on out and bring some people who've never been before, because that's how we grow this thing together. It's all about us, Dallas.
Awesome. Well, super excited to be on this podcast with you guys, Up the River. The official podcast will have many more future episodes as we start cruising through this season. And a reminder to all the fans, Saturday, August 23rd is the home opener at the Cotton Bowl. Trip, Charlie, thank you guys.
Let's do it.
about DTFC. No, there ain't none to it. We don't talk about it, yeah, we just do it. All roads lead to DTFC. Dallas Trinity. We going up like Reunion Tower. Your girls got power. All roads lead to DTFC. Dallas Trinity. We going up like Reunion Tower. Your girls got power. Representing Dallas, so we putting on. It's about that time that we came home. You can meet us at the Cotton Bowl. Big text, know we gon' flex. DTFC. From Deep Ellum to the Hunt Hill Bridge. Dallas skyline. We make it come alive. All roads lead to DTFC. Dallas Trinity. We going up like Reunion Tower. Your girls got power. All roads lead to DTFC. Dallas Trinity. We going up like Reunion Tower. Your girls got power. DTFC. You know it's all about DTFC.